Attention, divers! By now, you've seen the swarm. Maybe even survived it. The Terminids aren't an enemy. They're a plague. A living, crawling infestation that spreads faster than command can redraw the maps. Super Earth calls it containment. Down here, we just call it survival. The Ministry says quarantine keeps the E17 flowing, but on the ground, it just means holding the line long enough for someone else to call it progress. Listen close. The bugs don't give second chances. Follow these upcoming rules, and you might just live long enough to teach them yourself. You don't get brave by accident. You learn it, one drop at a time. Rule 1, stick with your squad. You're not a lone hero. You're a Helldiver. Lone heroes might get memorials, but they mostly end up as bug chow. Watch each other's backs. Your allies are everything, and the terrain's your only other one. Use it. Height gives sight lines, ridges, rocks, trenches. They can break a charge or hide your advance. Keep your squad tight, but not tangled. If a position's overrun, don't take it and make it last stand for glory. Tactically relocate, regroup, and push back together. Otherwise, you're just wasting ammo and throwing your squad mates into the grinder. Rule 2, use the terrain. The battlefield gives you 2 advantages: the ground beneath you and the bugs that haven't found you yet. Use both. Funnels, choke points, elevation, they're all weapons in the right hands. If you can't outgun the swarm, outthink it. Bring fire and gas to seal lanes, and use the heavy orbital barrages, the 180s, 380s, and napalm for area denial. They're not for show. They're how you turn a retreat into a bottleneck, and a bottleneck into a grave. But remember, don't fight for the same patch of dirt twice. If the ground's lost, move, regroup, and make them pay for every meter they take. On fire redraws the map. Don't get sentimental about the dirt you lose. Get loud about the ground you make them pay for. Rule 3, seal the ground. Every hole left open is another bug waiting to crawl through. Sealing isn't optional. It's what keeps the mission possible. Hole, nest, lair, whatever it is, close or destroy it. Use grenades, explosive weapons, or explosive stratagems to shut the gaps. If you can't seal it yourself, mark it, hold it, and call in heavier ordnance. Every bug that slips through is another chance for the swarm to call in more. Don't give them that opening. Seal the ground, hold the line, and move on. Sealing the hole isn't glamorous. It's boring, dirty work. It's also the thing that keeps you from having to explain to command why the shuttle's empty. Rule 4, extraction. Sometimes the area won't clear no matter how hard you push. When that happens, call extraction anyway. Area denial stratagems can buy you breathing room. 180s, 380s, napalm, gas, or even a well-placed EMS strike. Use them to carve out a sanctuary long enough for the shuttle to land. Never call a burn without the whole squad present, unless everyone's agreed on a plan. If someone's still fighting their way in, hold the zone. No Helldiver gets left behind. The fear making you rush onto the Pelican is temporary, but the guilt you feel from leaving a fellow diver behind lasts much longer. Field reports save lives, divers. If you've picked up a trick or watched your squad fall to a mistake that others could avoid, record it. Drop your notes below and let Super Earth learn from your pain. I read everyone who dream drops. Now, about what you'll face once you hit the ground. Scavengers. Small, quick, and dumb. The swarm's clutter. The job isn't to win the fight, It's to keep you busy while something meaner gets into position. They can call in bug breaches if ignored, so don't give them the chance. Drop them fast and move on. Every second you spend on Scavengers is a second a Charger spins closing. Pouncers, makeshift ambushes, and that's being generous. They're not very good at what they do, but they try their best. I'll give them that, and a few rounds from my Liberator. That's all it takes. They've got these tiny wings that barely get them off the ground. Thankfully, they can't actually fly, but they'll still try to jump right to your base. If you ignore them, they'll call them breaches like Scavengers do, and suddenly you've got more than that aim to worry about. Their best isn't good enough, but give them time, and they'll make it everyone's problem. Shriekers. Regardless of the name, they don't rely on sound. They rely on speed, and on you staring at the ground instead of the sky. They're fast, fragile once exposed, and they nest in clusters. Total elimination is the goal. Commanders authorize Hellbomb deployment on confirmed Shrieker nests. Call in one if you don't have the ordnance to handle it yourself. Stay close, keep your fire and lines tight, and don't stand under a dead Shrieker. It hits harder than you think. One last note. The Warren sidearm tracking rounds make it excellent for finishing Shriekers that die at range. Bring one if you can. Bile Spitters. Short-range acid llamas, about 15 meters give or take. They're easy to deal with, you don't get careless. Their spit slows movements, and burns through armor fast. And then when they go down, they explode. Spray corrosive bile in every direction. Keep spacing when you engage them. The trick isn't taking them out, it's making sure that you're not standing close enough when they burst. They also call in bug breaches if ignored, so never let them linger. If you made it this far without burning through half your ammo or all of your patience, you're doing better than most. But don't relax. This is where the real swarm starts thinking back. Warriors. The swarm's muscle. Medium-sized, fast, and relentless. They don't flank. They charge, overwhelm, and bury you in motion. They aren't armored. Any weapon can put one down if you keep your aim steady. And shots are the quickest, but avoid leaving them headless if you're close. They can still thrash when they've got nothing left to deck with. Warriors can also call in breaches, so take them seriously. When you hear them coming, tight formation and burn them down before they touch the line. Hive Guards. Stationary when they choose to be, and that's the problem. They live in cover walls, mostly unarmored except for the heavy plates on their heads and forelimbs. When they stop, those plates lock together, shielding the swarm behind them. Explosives, medium penetration, or flanking fire are your best answers. Don't penetrate the shots head on, unless you want to see your rounds bounce. You're feeling lucky, or skilled. Aim for the gaps in their plates. It's a small target, but it gets the job done. And don't take your time. Hive Guards can call in breaches if you leave them standing. Hunter. Hunters are flanking predators. Patient, deliberate, and just smart enough to make you second-guess the quiet. Their acid-coated tongue lash reaches farther than their claws and can slow a target, giving the pack time to close. They flank, wait, and strike when you think the coast is clear. They can call in breaches, drop them fast. If it's circling you, it's not curious, it's calculating. Stalkers. Every predator teaches you something. The smart ones make you sharper. The clever ones make you more cautious. But some predators are different. They simply remind you just how insignificant you really are. And stalkers are worse. They hunt you, not the squad. Camouflaged and silent until that awful hiss gives them away. They're unarmored, but not weak. Just fast enough to make you regret blinking. Enough strength to tear a squad apart before anyone can shout a warning. They isolate, they bait, and they enjoy it. That's what gets me. They don't just kill, they play with you. Teamwork is your only lifeline. Don't give them the satisfaction of splitting you up. Back on Oshune, a single stalker took my entire squad apart. I didn't walk away. I went back in. I tracked it through the tunnels, found its lair, and burned every one of them out. I hunted them the same way they hunted us. It wasn't justice. It was balance. You can't forgive yourself for something like that. Can only make sure it never happens again. Bile Spewers. They are heavier, slower, and far meaner than their smaller cousins. The Spewer is a walking tank of acid. A medium-class bombardier that can drown an area in bile faster than you can reload. It can launch bile in long mortar arcs or vent it directly from its maw. Either way, you're standing still, you've overstayed your welcome. Their bloated bodies are unarmored, but their head and thorax are shielded by medium plating. Don't waste light weapons on the body. It'll take too long, and when a sack takes enough damage, the thing will blow. If you're intentionally trying to detonate one among a cluster of bugs, shoot the backside. The sack is the target. Keep your distance and aim for the head when you need a clean kill. Medium penetration weapons drop in the quickest, and explosives make short work of them too. Nursing Spewer looks almost identical to the Bile Spewer. The same bloated frame, same lumbering pace, but with its thick yellow-orange colour of the gloom instead. The Nursing Spewer doesn't lob bile like its cousin does. Instead, it sticks close to the fight, emitting a dense cloud of spores that obscure vision and provide cover for nearby bugs. The spores don't hurt, but what they hide with. When it gets too close, it'll unleash a short-range acid spew that'll melt armor and courage in equal measure. Light penetration weapons will work just fine here. No need to waste the heavy gear. Drop it before it can turn the area into a blind killing field. Hard to call it nursing when everything it touches ends up melting. I guess that's just Terminid bedside manner for you. Rude Commander. You'll know it when you see it. Oh, when it slams through the line. Brood Commander doesn't fight like the others. It leads by disruption, charging through squads and scattering formations. That hit might kill outright. Probably won't, but it'll knock you out of position. And that's usually all the swarm needs. Its body's lightly armored, but it's surrounded by chaos. Use explosives or anything that can clear a crowd. Don't give it time. The Brood Commander can call in a bug breach if left alive. And if you take its head off, don't let your guard down. Like the Warriors, it'll thrash into a berserk frenzy. Unpredictable, fast, and still dangerous. Think of it as the closest thing the swarm has to leadership. Emphasis on dang. If the Brood Commander was a warm-up, then congratulations. You've made it to the part where the ground itself once it's gone. Chargers, the swarm's battering rams. Heavily armored, fast, and far too confident for something with a brain the size of a boot. They charge head-on, breaking lines and sending divers flying. The tail's the only consistent weak point. Aim for it if you don't have anti-tank weaponry. Anti-tank weapons will take them down fast with a direct hit to the head. But don't get cocky. If you miss, you might not get the time for a second shot. Their hides can take punishment, but a well-placed anti-tank round will crack even their thickest plates. And remember, when a charger dies mid-charge, it doesn't stop moving. Its body still carries enough momentum to flatten anyone standing in its path. Spore Chargers. Same group, different problem. These ones vent thick clouds of spores that choke visibility across a wide area. You can't see through it, neither can your squad. When a Spore Charger goes down, it detonates in an acidic burst. Keep your distance, And don't celebrate early. The air itself becomes part of the vibe. Command says the spores are harmless with our helmet filters. Funny thing, Command doesn't drop with us. Charger Behemoth, the biggest of the breed, a walking fortress with more mass than sense. It doesn't need a new tactic, just more time and firepower. A direct anti-tank hit to the head will drop it, but anything less than you're wasting ammunition. If you don't have AT, focus fire on the fleshy tail. It's the only consistent weak point. Work as a team, distract it, surround it, and strike together. When the behemoth dies, give it space. That much mass doesn't fall gracefully. Impaler. You'll feel an impaler before you see it. Ground vibrations, that's your warning. When the shaking starts, get ready to move, because those tendrils are already burrowing towards you. It never hides underground itself, just its tendrils. Each one ends in a stone-tipped spike that can tear through armor like paper. If you're too close, it'll use a slower, crushing strike instead. You might survive that one, if it's feeling generous. Its face has a cluster of eyes. That's its weak point. When those tendrils are out, so is its face. Anti-tank rounds to the eyes will drop it instantly if you hit clean. Thermite grenades work too. Takes 2 or 1 if you're accurate enough to land on its face. And if you don't have the tools for precision, the orbital Gatling will do the job just fine. It doesn't move much, and it's big enough to take the full barrage. You typically won't see it coming, but if you feel the ground rumble, you've still got time to prove you were paying attention. Bile Titan. You'll hear it before you see it, and you'll feel it before you hear it. A living siege engine. It spews acid from rage, closes the distance when it feels like it, and doesn't stop until its enemies do. Its bile can kill you instantly, provided you decided not to move. When that acid hits, move, don't think. The ground where it lands isn't yours anymore. The Titan's belly and bile sac are its weak points, but hitting them won't stop it fast. Anti-tank rounds to the head are the quickest way to put it down. If you don't have an anti-tank, go for the underbelly. It's not efficient, but it's your only shot. Fire works well enough if you've got the guts to stay close. And for the rest of us, Eagle airstrikes or orbital Gatling can finish the job. Mines won't help you, it'll step right over them. When it dies, stay alert. Its acid doesn't linger, but that corpse is still dangerous if it falls your way. There's no outrunning something like this. But if you're gonna try, make sure your squad runs with you. It's less heroic alone, and a lot messier. Dragon Roach. When you see the sky start to burn green, that's your warning, and your deadline. The Dragon Roach doesn't skulk or charge, it soars. A flying furnace that brings the swarm's fury from above. It breathes fire, and it doesn't miss often. The breath cuts in at an angle, so if you're lucky enough to have tall cover, use it. Anything less, and you might be ash. It's almost thick across the head and body, but the wings and underbelly are softer. Light penetration weapons can hurt these spots in desperation, though it's rarely worth the risk. Anti-tank rounds to the head will drop it fastest, if you're aimed steady enough to land them. If you've got a spear, use it. Its lock-on and tracking make it one of the few reliable answers to something that never lands. And if you don't, an autocannon sentry or 110mm rocket pods can do the job, provided you've got the patience and the space. When you finally bring it down, don't stand beneath it. Getting crushed under a flaming bug isn't a glorious end. It's just ironic. The good news, it doesn't come down often. The bad news, that means it's still up there. Hive Lord. When the ground shakes and the horizon splits, it's not an earthquake. It's worse. The Hive Lord's coming. A colossal worm, all muscle and armor plates. Stays underground until it decides you've overstayed your welcome. When it surfaces, the battlefield stops belonging to anything else. It doesn't burrow to hide, it breaches to attack. A slam alone will stagger you, maybe worse. And if you're unlucky enough to survive that, the acid spray will finish the job unless you hit the dirt fast. Gupping prone might save your life, but I wouldn't build a career on might. There's no real weak spot to aim for until you make one yourself. Those armor plates need to be shattered with anti-tank fire. Precision shots to the same plate until it breaks off. Once you've done that, its flesh is exposed and even light-pin weapons can finish the work. Just remember, that means getting close enough, or it can finish you. The efficacy of stratagem support is limited. Only the Eagle strafing run and the orbital Gatling barrage make much of a ding. Don't waste rockets or ordnance, hoping for a miracle. If you didn't bring enough AT, this isn't your fight. And for the love of Super, don't try to land your hellpod on it. The damage will be negligible, and your life, even less so. You don't beat a Hive Lord. You end it before it ends everything else. A swarm, it doesn't stop. Every nest we torch, every breach we seal, it buys us time. That's all it's ever bought. If we fail, the line moves closer to Super Earth, and I don't plan on giving them a single inch. So remember what you've learned here. Fight with your squad. Use terrain to your advantage. Seal what you can. Call extraction when you must. And don't waste courage, for strategy will do. We hold the line. Not because it's easy, but because someone has to. The ministry says courage is mandatory. They're not wrong. But it helps if you're stubborn too. By the magazine, the show, and the firepower of our super destroyer, we hold the line. For Super Earth, for each other. Divers, if you face these bugs and live to tell it, leave your field notes below. I read every one between drops. They help me teach the next poor souls heading planetside. And if you want to be ready for whatever cross out next, subscribe and stay in the fight. Because courage can run dry. But as long as we've got divers willing to learn, it never runs out.